Mahou.Club, it is Pixie. This video is one that I mentioned doing a number of videos back, and it's really just been on my mind lately, so I wanted to sit down and finally really explain and talk about why I left TikTok and why I stopped posting there, because it's really complicated and there's just so many layers to it, and I think it's an interesting discussion to be had. So yeah, I'll get right into it. Basically, I haven't posted to TikTok since last summer or fall. I'll put the date here. And this wasn't meant to be like a goodbye post. I didn't anticipate this being my final post at all. But it just kind of happened to be that way, and it was also like ended up being like a pretty fitting note to go out on. There are three big reasons to why I no longer felt comfortable on TikTok and no longer had a desire or drive to make TikTok content anymore. The first one, and probably the most pertinent one, was that fusion that we had during the summer. That's also mostly what that final video was about. We've settled into that fusion pretty well by now. Oh my gosh, I should hope so. It's been 8 months. But as this fusion was happening, I found myself not only not feeling the urge to scroll through TikTok and feeling the desire to pick it up. Like, I used to spend hours every day scrolling on TikTok, like all the time. I got my mom into it. I would constantly send TikToks to my friends and my partner and watch the ones they'd send me. Like, it was a constant daily hours of screen time thing. And as this fusion settled in, I found myself, not only not wanting to, but having a really adverse reaction to it. Not only just me scrolling through it feeling really overwhelmed and kind of suffocated with the lack of like options. There's no home page where you can, stop for a second. Like, it's all just going and it's one thing after another, and you can never prepare to be ready for whatever's coming next. It's just, I found it an extremely stressful experience. Even other people scrolling on TikToks around me, I found very, very overstimulating. And, I would try, I would just remove myself or put in headphones and do something else, because I don't want to stop anyone else from, consuming content the way they want to do and finding their entertainment, because, there are a lot of great things about TikTok and things that I really enjoyed, but the way that my brain is now in this current version of myself, I can no longer cope with the overstimulating, constant go, go, go sounds, and it's too much. It's way too much. And all the content is so short. In a 15-minute TikTok scrolling session, you can go through so much content and consume so much information just about so many things. The juxtaposition when you're scrolling sometimes can be really just not good for your brain. I don't think we're meant to be wired to see like a cosplay wig styling tutorial or like a cute fashion haul and then swipe and see something really, really distressing, disturbing, or traumatic that you would also like to consume. It's good to be updated on the news and things, but completely just giving up your will to a robot to feed you content and decide when you see like things about horrible tragedies in the news and right back to back with like stupid makeup hauls and things that don't matter. It's just, we're meant to take in both of these, but I don't think in this way. And I don't know. That's just my opinion. I can no longer handle that. And even if someone's feed is all comedy, it's still just too much. It's too fast. All of the content I consume these days is really, really long videos. I've been really enjoying like over an hour is like my sweet spot, and I love to do things while I listen. With TikTok, there is really no ability to multitask. And if you start cooking while you have TikToks running, it's gonna start looping, and then that drives me crazy and makes me anxious because I can hear it looping for the 8th time, but I really shouldn't leave this pan on the stove or something. It's just a really high stress, high anxiety, high stimuli experience. And I don't know, it was really bizarre how concretely my brain flipped from being just hours on TikTok, making TikToks, loving that sphere and just adoring being in that space, to being like, feeling like two magnets that just are, wait, not opposites, the same, you know? Two magnets doing this. This was really bizarre. This was not something that I expected to happen with DID infusions and stuff, but I mean, I'm happy. I don't feel like I'm missing it. I just very suddenly was like, I can't stand this. And because of that, because I couldn't stand scrolling through TikTok and consuming TikToks, I no longer was getting inspiration or feeling any drive or motivation to film them. I am completely out of the loop on TikTok culture and TikTok memes and trending TikTok sounds now. I only hear about them through my friends telling me about them or through YouTube commentary essays on like TikTok phenomenons and stuff. So just kind of one thing fed into the other, and I just never ever posted again. This kind of segues into another big aspect of why I wasn't comfortable on TikTok anymore, which is being a DID creator and having made DID content, and the McLean presentation happened, was it last year in the spring? And, you know, it was a couple months after that that I just stopped posting to TikTok. Ironically, the presentation talking about how real patients experience all this shame, and then saying that, you know, I wasn't displaying enough shame or I wasn't having the correct response at being diagnosed with DID, it actually ended up making me feel really ashamed to ever express my experiences with it really much at all, because I'm afraid of people overanalyzing it and being like, you're not ashamed enough. It made me ashamed. It made me afraid. It made me really uncomfortable, and it made me feel really unsafe to share that kind of content. So I made a whole video about why I don't talk about my DID as much, and why, you know, if I make a fashion video, it's going to be about fashion. If I make a cosplay video, it's going to be about cosplay. And if I make a personal video, of course it'll tend to come up because it's who I am. It's who we are. It is intrinsically linked and completely unable to be separated from my personal content about my life, because this is my life. So I really just didn't want to be known as a DID TikTok creator anymore. And it's funny because I still post about it on YouTube, but it's just the stigma. It's the stigma and the stereotype of it being specifically a TikTok thing, and also me having dyed hair and being young and, you know, like AFAB or whatever. All of these things that kind of go on the bingo checklist of like people that get accused of doing this for attention. So anyway, I kind of just stopped. I was like, fine, I just will stop talking about it, and then it can't be for attention because I'm doing art now. So yeah, it's definitely not a coincidence that this happened shortly after that whole situation. The damage from that still follows me to this day. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get closure for that, and it really sucks. It really sucks, but I know that there are plenty of professionals and experts in the field of DID and members of the ISSTD that are, you know, for lack of a better term, on my side, or, you know, don't, you know, agree with the things said in that presentation or the usage of content of people being openly multiple. to be used as an example of why you shouldn't trust. Anyway, I hate talking about this. So let's move on, but that was a big reason why I left TikTok. This is the third big zinger. This is probably one that you might not expect, or maybe you will. Would you care to get into a little bit of a business chat with me? Because, you know, I am a human and this is a blog. It is also all of my income. I don't even have merch right now. So like, this is my whole ass livelihood. And I was putting a lot of time into filming TikToks and planning TikToks and editing TikToks and posting TikToks. And it was really not benefiting me in like, how do I word this? It was really not doing a lot for me in terms of like translating TikTok views into followers on YouTube or directing any real success from TikTok over to other platforms. YouTube is my home. It is my passion. I get really like weird and sentimental about it. I love watching YouTube all day. And I'm so proud to call myself a YouTuber. Sorry. Sorry. I love it here. YouTube is also really good to its creators, I think, and you know, things will happen here and there, but I feel like they really care, and I just feel like no other social media platform, or at least YouTube was the first to really create this opportunity and this like harmonious creator and platform relationship where they were paying people for the content that they were posting because they recognized that people come to YouTube because there's awesome videos there. So who should be getting paid? The people that make the videos. TikTok, on the other hand, I would say it's pretty much as close to the opposite as you can get. Monetization is, not available in Canada, and from what I've seen and heard on the internet, it is very much not comparable to the amount that YouTubers get paid for their content. And I've seen a lot of really amazing high production value TikToks where like, this deserves to be paid the same amount that a YouTuber gets paid, and especially when the length is, TikToks aren't just 60 seconds anymore. They can go up to 10 minutes, maybe more now. Again, I'm not so much in the loop, but it's just the complete night and day difference of how you can put in the same amount of effort on YouTube and make enough to support yourself. And then you can put that same amount into TikTok and just like have a bunch of views and be like, you can advertise and promo for your YouTube channel as much as you want, but I don't think this is just me. I have heard around other YouTubers saying this kind of thing where like it just doesn't really seem to translate, or the percentage is very low. I'm sure it's a bit different for everyone. But yeah, basically, long story short, I'll spare you the nasty influencer complaining about not getting enough money because no one wants to hear about that. But basically, it was just not benefiting me in any way. The views were higher than they are on YouTube. I have a very cozy and consistent kind of view count here, whereas TikTok is kind of like all or nothing. It's more fluctuating, which, is exciting, but also the comments, can be nasty, especially on videos about DID. And yeah, you can have a video hit 1 million views, and that doesn't mean that I'm gonna get even 10 subscribers on YouTube. Like, it just was not, it was not a harmonious cycle. These were two parallel things where I was putting a ton of time and effort and energy into one of these things that wasn't benefiting me career-wise, business-wise, and also was no longer bringing me joy at all. That was the big thing. If I still wanted to post TikToks just for fun, I totally would be. I had like a personal account where I would just post random things, and you know, it wouldn't be shiny, edited, full makeup, hair, like pixie lock stuff. And I would still be posting there if I felt like it, but I just don't. I just don't. I tweet now whenever I have a stupid little thought, or I'm like, wow, it's nice weather and I'm outside. Instead of posting a TikTok, I just like tweet on my private Twitter, or I just enjoy the sky. Not to be all touch grass, but with that fusion also came a really big shift in my focus to be more career forward and business forward and trying to progress things in that area of my life. So I think that also coincided with like, okay, I don't enjoy scrolling through TikTok and it's feeling like a big waste of time. This is not doing anything for me at this point. So yeah, that is the detailed report of why I left TikTok. And I would love to be able to post some things in the future, but again, I don't consume TikTok anymore. It's fully uninstalled from my phone, which is actually really annoying because, you know, I'll be on Google Images looking for wig tutorials and I'll find one and then I want to click it to play it and it just brings me to the App Store and I'm like so bitter that I just don't want to give in and download it again just so I can So the kind of things I'd be posting would be things that I would make for YouTube Shorts, or just like 5-petal flower related business and promo things in the future. So I'm gonna keep that account there and probably eventually one day I'll start posting fashion-y, beautiful stuff to it. But for right now, the bio says I don't post anymore. Come to YouTube. So now they have no choice but to come to my YouTube. I love you very much. This was just a little chatty video. Just wanted to like get this out there because I've been thinking about it, and yeah, I'm very happy with my podcasts and my video essays and my slow-paced, much more slow-paced, business-centered brain rather than like just constantly feeding it stimuli and like being so stuck in my head. It's dissociative in a way when you're just stuck in your phone. It's like the whole world disappears, whereas when I'm listening to a longer video and I can be cutting fabric or cleaning my kitchen, I'm still in the real world while enjoying some entertainment and like watching a video. So yeah. Sorry to be preachy. There are a lot of things I miss about TikTok. I love when people duet over and over and over and it like creates a big beautiful story. Like that's a type of interaction that was born on TikTok that didn't really exist before. Like where people like make their body parts go together to make it, you know.
Happy Star Wars Day, everyone. Today is also my birthday, and because it's my birthday, I get to introduce you to my girlfriend, who is amazing.
Hi guys, I'm Brittany.
She rescues rabbits, and she goes on target rampages. Well, not target rampages. She goes on rampages within the department store of Target. Birthday, I get to introduce you to my girlfriend.
Let her go.
My girlfriend.
Breaking news, a man is currently holding his girlfriend hostage. Police are outside of his home waiting negotiation terms.
But anyway, that's really all I had to say. I love you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next video, which is not this one, because this one is over. Bye!